Hello, folks, and welcome to the narrative. Today, we take a look at Avdat in the Negev desert. Avdat, also known as Abdah and Ovdat, is a site of a ruined Nabataean city in the Negev desert in southern Israel. It was the most important city on the Incense Route after Petra between the 1st century BCE and the 7th century. It was founded in the 3rd century BCE and inhabited by Nabataeans, Romans, and Byzantines. Avdat was a seasonal camping ground for Nabataean caravans traveling along the early Petra Gaza road. The ancient city of Avdat was initially a station on the Incense Route in the Negev highlands. It was developed to a city by the Nabataeans starting in the 3rd century BC. During the Roman period, the city was part of the defense and transportation systems of the empire and flourished during the Byzantine period with the construction of churches, structures, workshops, and vast agricultural farming. The city was finally abandoned in the 7th century following an earthquake. It became a national park and World Heritage Site and a recommended site on the road to the south. With regards to its location, the site is located in the middle of the Negev desert highland between Beersheba and Ramon Krator. If you travel south to Eilat via the Mizpeh Ramon, Ovdat is a great place to stop, even if it is for just an hour. There's an easy access road from the visitors center up to the ruin, which leads to the parking space near the Roman tower. With regards to the Nabataeans, one can say that the Nabataeans originated from Arabia, where there had been nomadic tent dwellers. The name Nabat may have been originated from the word meaning of Arab, a name which is known since the 10th century BC. Their language was Aramaic, and many of their words were Arabic. The Nabataean script is similar to the Moab script. Although they left no books, the research of their history is based on the inscription of tombs and on Greek and Roman historians such as Diodorus Siculus and Joseph Flavius. The Nabataeans excelled in ceramics and mastered in collecting the desert water, and they were skilled merchants. The Nabataeans prospered from the operation of the incense and spice route and established stations and cities along the route. This commercial enterprise started around the 5th or the 4th century BC and made these merchants rich. Their new capital city Edom, which was called Petra, was based on the Greek word for rock. The Nabataeans arrived to the Negev during the Persian period. Professor A. Negev, the excavator of Avdat and other Nabataean sites, defines 3 periods in the history of the Nabataeans in Negev. The early Nabataean period from the 4th to the 1st century BC, which could be said to be the nomadic period during the Persian and Hellenistic periods. The middle Nabataean period from 25 BC to 50 or 70 AD, which was the trade empire during the early Roman period. And finally, the late Nabataean period from 80 to 150 AD, the urban agriculture period during the early Roman period. With regards to the establishment of Avdat, one can date it to around 3rd century BC. In order to support and protect the incense route, the Nabataeans established stations and fortresses along the road. One of these stations, located in the Negev highland, is Avdat. It was established in 3rd century BC and was later named after their king Obodas. In the early Roman period, only during the time of Herod the Great, the Mediterranean ports were reopened and the incense route revived, bringing Avdat a new era of prosperity. The city continued to prosper and develop under the reign of the Nabataean king Aretha IV. This period is the Nabataeans' golden age with 50 years of prosperity. In the Byzantine period, which lasted from the 4th to the 7th century AD, the Nabataeans converted to Christianity and their temples were replaced by two churches and a monastery. A large residential quarter was built, as well as other installations and structures. The city continued to develop, but reached a tragic end following a massive earthquake in around 630 BC, which led to the abandonment of the city. The city was rediscovered in the 19th century. Palmer and Drake were the first researchers who correctly identified the location of Avdat in 1870. The site became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2005 and was listed together with the Incense Route from Avdat to Moa in the Arava, which is 65 kilometers long. With regards to the city plan, the city is located on a high altitude of 620 meters plateau, about 160 meters above the valley to the west. The western edge of the city is seen from the visitor center. The ruins of the city are located on a plateau high above the course of the road. The southern hillside can be seen from the access road that ascends from the visitor center up to the Roman Tower along the southern side of the city. The red square on the plan of the city shows the position of the southern hillside. The city was once protected by a wall and the road passes along its path. On the south side of the Avdat ridge are also the ruins of a Roman villa. The villa has several rooms which were built around a square courtyard. At the center of the courtyard is a cistern. The roof was supported by arches, of which a pair was reconstructed in one of the rooms. Also, one can see on the southwest side there are agricultural farming areas which are reconstruction of the ancient irrigation and cultivation methods. During the Roman and Byzantine periods, these farms supplied the city with fresh products and were also one of the sources of the city's income, since the Nabataeans used to grow crops and sell it to the army. The Roman Tower. A lookout tower dated to the Roman period is the first interest point inside the city. Its location on the plan of the city can be seen towards the right. The tower is built along the city wall. It was constructed in 294 AD according to the inscription above its entrance. The Byzantine Quarter. Beyond the city wall and the Roman Tower is a vast area of ruins which is still undergoing archaeological excavations and preservation. This residential quarter is dated to the Byzantine period. Arches were used to support the roof and the second level of the house. The Byzantine quarter consists of a main street in the direction of southeast to northwest, directed towards the fortress which is seen in the background. The dwelling structures are built on both sides of the street. The street had a system of water channels, such as can be seen, which led to the rainwater from the roofs to collecting cisterns. The city fortress. The city fortress was located at the edge of the main street and it was built during the Byzantine period. Its purpose was to protect the residents in times of attacks. Inside the fortress is a wide open court with a large cistern located in its center. The Nabataean temples. Beyond the fortress is another wide open area of the Nabataean temples and the church's plaza. In this area, there were one or more Nabataean temples which were later replaced by churches. On the north side of the area is a gatehouse. The gate opens to the north area outside the city. The Southern Church. The Southern Church was part of a Byzantine monastery of Saint Theodoros, and it was located on the southwestern side of the city. According to inscriptions found on the floor of the church, it dates to around 6th to 7th century AD. The atrium, the open court before the church, is located on its west side and sizes 15 into 14 meters. It is paved and consists of 4 rows and columns. The columns, made of hard limestone, were based on the original Nabataean temples built by King Aretha IV. A large cistern is located under the floor of the courtyard. The courtyard is surrounded by rooms on its 3 sides. The entrance to the church can be seen from the eastern wall, where there are 3 entrances to the church. The entrance from the atrium is also seen from the inner side of the church. The church is a 3-aisle pillared basilica with 3 apses. The apses are located on its eastern side. The central apse, where the altar stands, is seen in the middle. The main altar is also located on a low raised platform. A number of tomb inscriptions were found in the floor of the church. The marble slabs bear Greek inscriptions dating from 541 to 618 AD. Another epigraph is located on the northeast corner on the floor behind the fallen column. In other rooms and locations, there are some notable stone objects, such as the water vessel, the lookout platform. On the western edge of the Acropolis is a lookout platform which is situated on the ruins of a Nabataean temple. It affords remarkable views of the area west of the city. A western view of the lookout point can be seen, and there are current restoration works which have begun here from 2011. From the platform are great views of the structures, such as the structure of the southwest corner. The baptistry. On the north side of the lookout platform is a large Byzantine baptistry which was part of the adjacent northern church complex. The eastern side. The eastern side of the city has a number of additional sites which can be reached by foot. An impressive army camp was excavated, located 300 meters northeast of the city. The camp size is 100 meters square. It contains 8 long multi-chambered structures. About 2,000 soldiers would have been stationed here, which was a large force during that time. Ancient camel pens are located on the eastern side of the city. A cluster of metal sculptures demonstrate a typical camel and donkey convoy coming from Petra. The west side. The reconstructed Byzantine house, City of Caves. On the western hillside, just below the lookout platform, is an area termed the City of Caves. It is accessed from the parking space, which can be reached halfway to the visitors area. The house is dated to the Byzantine period. The owner of the house may have been a wealthy wine merchant. Inside the room, a reconstruction of the winery can be seen. Wine production was one of the main sources of income in the Negev desert. The dry desert climate, with extremely cool nights during the winter, with plenty of sunshine during spring and summer, created an excellent quality of dry wine. A large cave is located in the back of the house. The cave has 2 rooms and was used for storage of wheat, dry fruit, and wine. The city wall passes below the house and extends to the north. So this brings us to the end of yet another episode of the narrative. Do like and share the video, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And yes, if you have any comments, Do feel free to write them in the comment section.